everybody. It's been a minute. Welcome back. It's me, Decaf Jedi, and I'm here tonight with more King's Quest II Romancing the Stones. That's right. It is the VGA remake, the fan remake of King's Quest II. We are gathering 3 stones as Graham sets out in search of his one true love that he hasn't met yet. And we've gotten 2 of those stones. We're now under a 3rd one. And I just want to tell everybody, I mean, this is at some level a content warning. Things are about to get extremely Draculated in here. There's a good chance of vampires, so everyone be prepared. Thank you so much, Grayson. Thank you so much, Dr. Mario, for your resubs. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you're all off to a great start to your week. A car was in a hailstorm today. It got all battered up by the giant, like, golf ball size hail. It's been that kind of day. So I'm looking forward to relaxing with a little bit of King's Quest II. But I hope everybody's well. Thank you again for those resubs. Dr. Mario's in early with an Ask Jess Anything, which is the best classic Universal monster. This is tough for me. I think I have very basic answers to this at some level. Like, I go Frankenstein or Dracula. Like, I think if we go novels, like if we go to the like basis for those characters, this is important to get nailed down before we get started. If I went to the original novels, I probably like Frankenstein better than Dracula in terms of how they're portrayed, like in the Universal movies, especially the way back ones. I prefer Dracula a little bit there. I guess I would put, I mean, I do enjoy me some Mummy in concept. I don't know about Mummy in execution, but the concept of a mummy is very fun. So, yeah, I'm all over the place. I'm going to say, though, if we're talking Universal movie monster, I've got to go Dracula. I'm going to go Dracula because, again, it ties into our content tonight. So thank you for asking that. Hey, Jersey Joe's, prematurely Draculated is a big problem, but it happens to lots of people. So, yeah, I mean, hey, Sarah, good to see you. 6'7", howdy. Welcome, everybody. Let's jump in and have a little bit of fun. And gosh, thank you, resub there for 6'7". I appreciate it. And we've got a hype train going. What a way to start the night. Now, I have some vague memories of what was happening in this game. Hey, Kevin. Content synergy. That's what we're all about here at Decaf Jedi. Thank you, Tom. That's right. Content synergy. And, you know, at some level, I'm trying to deliver for all stakeholders in this channel. So part of what I'm doing here is, yeah, trying to, get like an all quadrants hit. Hey, Tom, thank you for the gift sub. Thank you for your generosity. I appreciate it. Hype train is out of control. Dr. Mario, Invisible Man's your favorite. I don't think I've ever seen The Invisible Man. Okay, so as we left off, we had gotten the 2nd stone. As you can see, we have a sugar cube. Oh, it's a giant sugar cube. I'd like to sit around and lick that all day. Livy Drowns, that's right. Stakeholder. That was definitely a pun I intended. And not a happy accident. That's right, Salt Ranger. We're getting fully Draculated tonight. So, uh-oh. The cathedral bells are ringing.
The church bell is tolling.
I'm curious for whom it tolls. If we get a little bit of clarity there. Oh no, there are eyes in the forest.
Finding the door unlocked and unbarred, you enter the church.
I did play the Inspired by Universal Monsters adventure game. Oh man, Hollywood Monsters. That was not great. Wow, here we are.
A hideous statue of a grinning fiend forms an archway leading to the church's outdoor cemetery.
You don't see a lot of indoor gargoyles in this style of church.
Candles burn solemnly in the dead of night.
Not much room for a congregation either. How are you going to throw a giant wedding here? It simply doesn't make sense.
You notice a Bible on the end of a pew.
A Bible?
You look over the Bible, which appears to be many decades old. You open it and find that an otherwise blank page at the front has been written on. It is dated over 20 years ago.
Okay. To all those who have heard the word, we are the chosen few, blessed by the spirits of the wild, destined for greatness, concealed by the cloth. There is but one challenge you must overcome before our future can be set in stone. The simple people of Klima cling still to the memory of their former ruler. Even now, years after the fate's dark turn, they retain their hope that he will not forsake them. For as long as this is so, our goal cannot be attained. So, my brothers, it is our duty to see the land cleansed of its blight. Do not fear our enemy. Our faith, our purpose, and power will guide us to the future we are promised forever and ever. Amen. Wait, a path has been found to him, O brothers. Let him hear the warning house. The cloth will be lifted for all time, and our songs will echo his influence, his family. Our time is at hand.
You return the Bible to where you found it. You also notice that a page from the Bible has fallen onto the floor.
You need the family Bible from under the floorboards. I love a good Colonel's Bequest reference. Thank you.
You pick up the fallen page and read it. The words appear to have been written recently. Shine why early, newborn son, when sadly we'd nearly won.
Okay, that to me appears to be a set of cardinal compass directions.
You read the Bible page again. Shine why early, newborn son, when sadly we'd nearly won.
Okay, so southwest, east. I'm guessing that's going to get us through the swamp, right? That's what we're talking
about. The monk
about.
is dressed in a simple ankle-length robe. A belt of thick leather is tied around his ample waist. He wears worn sandals.
Well, it's hard to wear unworn sandals, so that makes sense. That's a paradox. You can't wear unworn sandals, so I mean, obviously. In typical monk fashion.
The monk is in deep prayer.
Oh, guess I should go also pray now that I've read the Bible.
Feeling humbled, you kneel down to pray. You rise again after a few moments.
We did it. We successfully received God's blessing.
Stands and turns to face you.
King Arthur style. It's me, a monk.
Father, I go now to a place of darkness. While I am stout of heart, the path laid down before me is unclear. I seek only the knowledge that my passage be illuminated by heavenly favor, and a prayer that I may make it through.
The monk gives you a reassuring smile and pats you on the shoulder. He then lifts a silver cross from around his neck and places it in your hands.
Thank you.
You are welcome, my child.
You can talk?
Of course.
I thought monks were forbidden from speaking.
Not all churches follow the same rules, and this church is quite unique.
Hey, Matt.
How so?
The monk just smiles placidly at you.
Sir Graham is following the wisdom of MC Hammer. That's right. You've got to pray just to make it today. Hey, thank you all so much for that hype train. I appreciate the support.
You place the silver cross and chain around your neck and wear it as a necklace.
Okay, let's see.
About this crucifix.
I believe you'll find the cross to be of immense value. It has come to us at a huge price.
It was expensive?
I mean that it has cost us more than any value to be in possession of it.
One is meant to speak from a pulpit, not to it.
I like their wrong click messages. That's always fun. They've actually put in some work into those. I appreciate it.
If I may ask, why is it that you only open the church at dusk?
We find the late hours more favorable.
Are you also a vampire?
Surely then you would not have many in your congregation.
Yes, that is true.
What do you know of the Count?
Why are you so weird?
Only that he is a heathen, a blasphemer. You serve God well by going there, my child. Bless you.
I hope we don't end up
smiles
subverting.
at you, turns back to the altar, kneels, and resumes his prayers.
I hope we don't end up subverting all of my expectations here. Because I will not kill a man of the cloth. That's the sort of thing that's usually a game over in a proper Sierra game.
Trees seemingly
Let's see those red eyes. I enjoy a good red eye peeking out from the background in an adventure game. I feel like that's always a good gag. It was the sort of thing that really creeped me out as a kid.
Without warning, a pair of wolves dart out of the dark forest and dash towards you.
Oh no, don't dash. Oh no. Oh no. Not wolves.
For a minute there, you thought those wolves were going to attack. Curious as to why they didn't, you decide to follow them.
This monk a werewolf. Canis, lupus.
You see the monk standing alone outside the church. Then you notice the two wolves approaching him. You are about to yell a warning to the monk, but the words die in your throat as the man steps forward and pats the wolves' heads.
Oh my goodness. Hey, wolves.
No, my brothers. We must not hurt him. Not yet.
Werewolf.
He will go to the heathen's abode.
Werewolf?
Werewolf.
Thank you, Lemming. It needed to be said. It needed to be said.
He will do what needs to be done. What if he does not? Then, my brothers, we will complete the task before us, the one we began many
Years ago.
What? Hey, Mr. Fluff and Stuff, welcome in. I'm starting to think that oh no. No, not like this. I'm a little king.
You quickly move away from the church, your heart racing faster with every step. You have a good idea now what will happen once the moon comes out in full, and you do not want to be anywhere near here when it does. One thing's for sure, you're not getting married in that church.
Werewolves of Kalima. Okay, well, let's see. Other locations that have been blocked off up to this point. We haven't been able to get into Grandma's house yet. Maybe it's time. Ooh, Matt Clam with an Ask Chess Anything, a hot one. If you could wish a talkie version of any game into existence, what would it be? Oh, wow. That's a really good question. I'm like running through some of the catalogs of my favorite games off the top of my head. Like, I mean, a codename Iceman Talkie would be hilarious. But that's not my answer. I think Colonel's Bequest, it came up earlier. Colonel's Bequest would be on my list. I think that one could be really fun to get voiced. I think Maniac Mansion would be a fun voiced game, especially with like the retro graphics and interface. Having some nice voice acting on top of that could be a lot of fun. I'm looking at my shelf of games right now to see what else is on my list. Goodness gracious. I mean, in some sort of magical world where you could retroactively have Gary Owens narrate it, I would go back and get some of the Space Quest. Here's my answer, Space Quest 5. Yeah, Jay Frisbee, you said it. Tom said, yeah, we have that AI version of Space Quest 5 that someone released last year. It disappeared not long after release. But Space Quest 5, maybe that is my answer too, because Space Quest 5 is such a good game with such an amazing cast. Having that properly voiced would be just a real dream come true. That would be a great. And Kevin, you say it doesn't need one. Would have been nice if it gotten one to boost sales. Yeah. Let's see here. We have a wolf possibility here. Oh, hey, Grandma.
Oh, sir. Have you seen my little granddaughter? She ventured to the town to buy food for me, but has not yet returned. I fear she may be in peril. The forest is not safe at night.
You mean possum? Well,
perhaps you should try locating the...
As we chose not to respond to her very desperate question. Oh, your granddaughter's missing? I'll just see myself out. No need to speak a word. Is it just me, or does the palette seem like it's cycling to try to get darker? Maybe that's just supposed to be like clouds passing across the moon. I don't quite know why it's getting darker and then lighter. Yeah. Dwarf House. Hashtag Dwarf House. Okay. They have an animated fog layer. Okay, that's why it is. Man, we're just blasting right through this game. I have a feeling we'll be able to wrap it up in a smooth 4 sessions of gameplay. A lot more game than I was expecting. Get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. So where is ye possum? Can't get possum, at least not now. Hey, Expert Casual, thank you so much for the resub. Howdy, howdy.
You hear the sound of a child sobbing nearby.
Sounds bad. I do hear the sound of a child sobbing, though, so this checks out. Is she in the log? Are you in the log?
You peer into the log.
How about this log? Same log. Look at that care to put in a little bending over animation there. Is this where you be? She nearby. I found Possum Gange.
As you approach, you recognize the child. It is Possum, the little girl you helped earlier today.
Oh, Possum.
You see the little girl crying. What could have happened? And why is she out so late at night?
Oh, she's probably a classic vampire baby, like, was it Tanya from Quest for Glory 4? Everybody's either a vampire or a werewolf
right?
now.
What
I'm
happened?
convinced.
I went into town to buy some chicken soup for my grandma. I always try to reach home before dark, but this eve I lost my way and was attacked.
Attacked? A wolf attacked you?
No, not by a wolf, a dwarf.
A dwarf?
For a moment, you're not sure
Like
that
a
you
dwarf
heard
on
correctly.
golf?
A dwarf, did you say?
Uh-huh. He jumped out at me, took my food, and then ran away.
Dwarf
Listen,
on wolf.
I'm going to try to find this dwarf that you say stole your food. You get back to your grandma, understand?
Possum nods, says a soft thank you, and heads back home.
Hey, Tribeca. It's great to see you. Thank you so much for the resub. Hope you're doing well. Yo, Tribeca, I was just thinking about you the other day. I've been putting together all the old VODs from my early days of streaming here on Twitch and moving them over to my YouTube channel as Twitch gets ready to purge those old archives. And I put together a compilation video of a whole bunch of Fortnite, a lot of it featuring the Rift Walkers. So for all the true Rift Walker fans out there, there's some great content, great old content coming to YouTube soon. Bring back the Rift Walkers. I mean, I think everybody wants to bring back the Rift Walkers. It's just hard to get the Rift Walkers all on the same page, unfortunately. My beloved Fortnite trio has fallen apart. You guys go in? Oh no, we're knocking.
You rap on the treehouse door and
Run, run, run. Hide, hide, hide.
you rap on
What am I supposed to do here?
You rap on the
Oh.
You watch as a little man runs out of the door, which has been built into a tree. You surmise that you have found the culprit's home. The vague aroma of chicken soup confirms it. That fiend.
Oh, I love vague soup aromas. Okay. Got this. Hey, Graham, come out here. We're just going to infiltrate his home if we can pathfind our way over there. Come on, Graham, you got this?
Finding the door ajar, you cautiously open it and step inside the tree.
So I have to tell y'all, tomorrow we've got a big episode of Quest, the adventure game podcast coming out. Very excited for this. Those of you who listened last week know we counted down the first round of a tournament bracket to determine the greatest LucasArts game of all time. And tomorrow you'll get to hear us finally decide. We'll make it down to the final matchup and determine once and for all, indisputably.
That's not a knife. The knife you found under a rock one time? Now that was a knife.
I like that gag.
Nice closet.
This is a nice dwarf closet. Thank you, Three Becca.
You grab the handle of the bubbling pot of chicken soup. You take it with you.
Boy, that sounds difficult.
Upon opening the trunk, you find a number of items that the dwarf has obviously stolen and stashed away. Among them are some gold coins. They display the distinctive face of the first king. They could only have come from the magic chest of Daventry.
This belongs to me, technically, is what you're saying. That's right. It's going to be Yoda stories. Now, I will warn you, I don't want to spoil anything, but there was a Dark Horse competitor that nearly entered the tournament last minute.
You notice the shelf
and
is
went on to
located
win.
quite high up on the wall for such a small dwarf. Then you see the barrel on the table, and things start to make sense. The dwarf must climb on it whenever he needs access to the shelf.
That's what you call world building.
It's a large, empty barrel. It is locked.
Is it?
It is locked.
Is it? What is it?
The elaborate display cabinet sitting to one side of the room looks heavy and expensive. You begin to wonder how the tiny dwarf managed to move it all the way down here by himself without damaging it. You hear the sound of the door creaking. Thinking quickly, you hide in the trunk.
Wow, that worked. This game is anti-Wallsian. Hey, it's me, a dwarf.
The dwarf has entered his underground hovel. Hopefully, he won't discover
Hovel?
you in here.
Well, judgmental much? This is a pretty sweet tree root home. Let me look at my treasure. No, maybe not. I'm going to go back out and rob some more people. Mike, you mentioned Mortimer and the riddles of
You
the medallion.
sense that the coast is clear again.
When we were trying to find that 16th game to put in there was a brief time when the 16th slot in our tournament bracket was Mortimer and the riddle of the medallion. But we finally decided that a combination of Yoda stories and Indy's desktop adventures probably was closer to an adventure game than Mortimer. But Mortimer was talked
It
about.
looks like the door creaked open. The door.
There was briefly a period where Mortimer appeared in our bracket. So that makes 3 people
You hear the latch fall into place again.
who have thought of Mortimer this month. The dwarf is played by Senor Card Gauge. All of my characters, eventually, if you just wait long enough, are played by Senor Card Gauge. Come get your bubbly soup, Belinda's. That wasn't even Senor Card Gauge. I lost it. Bubbly soup, bubbly tears. Got all those bubbles coming out of my ears. Bubbles of moonbeams in my. You got all the love, grandma, baby, I can stand.
Welcome. Come in, please. Possum told me to expect you.
Throw hot soup on Granny. We should tell her about that cool bowl we used to have that could just fill up on command.
It is a little too cold to be serving to frail old ladies. It is a little too cold.
Ugh.
You place the now cold chicken soup over the crackling fire once more. After it heats up to eating temperature, you remove it again.
With a mighty heave, you scald the old one with the hot soup. Yes.
You offer the soup to Possum's grandma, introduce yourself, and wait courteously while the frail elderly lady eats the nourishing meal. When she is finished, she sets the empty bowl down elsewhere and turns her attention towards you.
Yeah, pay attention to me, Graham.
It is a portrait of a young man. He looks somewhat familiar. The painting on the wall looks like an artist's depiction of the Kalima landscape.
Hydrate. Thank you, Packet Game. Cheers. Water. Life-giving nectar of the gods.
If you would like to speak with me for a while, I would welcome your company. A person should never turn away a visitor, especially when she reaches the twilight of her life.
You can't help but feel a sense of finality in the old woman's words.
You must have something in return for your kindness. You do not need to risk your safety for an old, worn-out woman like myself.
Oh, it's my
under
pleasure.
the bed. You should find something to keep you a little warmer on a cold night like this.
Is this a trick?
You
Those
peer under
bones.
the bed and find a thick black cloak. Lying atop it is a beautiful ruby-encrusted ring. You pick both up with reverence.
I could not possibly take these fine things from you.
You take fine things from people
Please,
constantly.
I want you to have them. Nights in Kolima are cold, believe me. As for the ring, well, perhaps it is better that I do not have it to remind me.
As you wish.
You are now wearing the beautiful ruby ring.
Sweet, hecka sweet.
The ring
What
is gold
accent
with an
is
enormous
this?
red ruby. The word beloved is engraved inside the gold band.
You know, I think you'd have to spend a lot of time there to get it, but it's definitely a Kentucky
You
accent.
remove the ruby. You are now wearing the beautiful ruby ring.
This is who Graham marries. We'll see.
The black cloak is a fine garment.
It's extremely
The
Draculated.
black cloak would fit a taller man than you.
Who's taller than King Graham?
With a flourish, you fling the black cloak around your neck and fasten it.
Oh, but he's wearing the cloak. Oh my God, they animated the cloak on him. Yes. Oh, I love when you get like a little costume change for a character like that. Oh man, here we go. I don't want to savor my snake save because that snake was pretty great. Nope, that's good too. I don't know what plug was, but here we are. We're going to go with Loken. Okay, let's see. Is there
The
anything else
bed
good
i-
under here? It did happen in King's Quest V.
young granddaughter.
Grandma smiles at you graciously.
She is a treasure to me. I would do anything to ensure that no harm comes to her.
If I may inquire, what became of her parents?
This seems like my
Grandma
business.
frowns, and her eyes darken for a moment before she forces a melancholy smile to her face.
They were lost to us many years ago. I am afraid dear Possum never really knew her parents.
It must have been a daunting task raising a child by yourself.
Wow,
Especially at
Graham. Wow.
At my age,
Wow.
I am certainly not as young as I used to be. And there
Wow.
is no shame in that.
You should be
I have
ashamed.
tried to raise her as best I could to keep her safe and well. However, I fear that as of late the reverse has become truer.
If you please, I was hoping you might tell
Yeah.
me of the cloak and ring's origin.
What's with these things?
The old woman closes her eyes as if the memory she seeks is painful to her senses.
They were my husband's. He was a proud man, the last of his line. His family had been rich, a great deal of old money, you might say. They lived in that castle you might have seen to the north. Its location upon that island is evidence of how much they valued their privacy. He was a good man, my husband. He took care of me.
Yeah.
Certainly he had his strange habits.
Who among us
Most
doesn't?
men do, if you would pardon me for saying so. I suspect that he practiced magic, so I could never catch him in the act. He would frequently journey afar, taking that black cloak with him wherever he went, to places he would not talk about.
Black cloak,
He
eh?
said that it represented something important to a certain group of people, and that I was never to mention it to anyone. But he was always there for me, always, until that fateful night.
Oh, no further
We
question.
had been married just over a year, and I was heavy with child.
We were both out walking in the weirwood forest late one night. The air was warm, and in our youth we paid little attention to the world and its many dangers. Besides, there was a full moon. We could see clearly enough.
Oh no, not a full moon.
A shadow passed over us. We looked up, thinking it might have been a stray cloud. It was not. Descending upon us like a demon was the largest, most hideous bat I had ever seen.
It was a king bat.
Its fangs were bared, and it dove straight for me. I must have screamed. My husband flung himself in front of me to protect me. He swung his arms about frantically in hopes of warding the horrid thing away. Perhaps he was trying to cast a spell, but could not recall how in his panic. It paid him no heed and would not be deterred. It swooped again and again, relentlessly.
Relentless swooping.
At one point, my husband's hand must have clipped the bat's wing because it lost control and crashed into his shoulder. He tried to wrest the foul creature away, but then he shrieked suddenly. The horrid thing had bitten him.
No. He's gonna turn into a bat zombie.
He never did recover from that incident. He just faded with each passing hour. Within 2 days of the attack, my husband had died. We buried him on his family's plantation on the island.
Topic matter. Grandpa got ran over by a bat
Sometimes when I
zombie.
sleep,
Yes.
I can feel him watching over me, guarding me, protecting me. I think he is waiting for my time to come so we can be together always.
Thank you, Larry.
The old lady seems to be dozing off. You can barely hear her final words.
Final words.
I miss him so.
Telling the story has clearly taken a great deal out of her. You watch the old woman a moment and notice her labored breathing as she sleeps. Despite the little girl's tireless daily efforts, perhaps there's nothing more to be done.
All right, let's grab the pillow and finish her off.
There's no time
Oh.
for sitting around, Graham. You have important things that need doing.
I'm sorry. I thought that's what you were hinting at. I thought that was the next puzzle. It seemed like Graham needed to give her a merciful death. And then you're like, no, you don't have time to grab the pillow right now. What? Wow, Tom, I thought that's what the game wanted me to do. That's just pillow talk, baby. I think we already have the sugar cube. I think the horse gave us the sugar cube. Yeah. Poison mushrooms in the soup.
Watch
Yeah.
it. Whatever she has might be catching.
Hey, Dick. How's it going? Welcome in.
Grandma has fallen asleep. The elderly lady. Watch it. Whatever she has.
Okay, I don't guess there's anything else here.
It's not polite to search through other people's drawers. You should know better than that, Graham.
What? We do that literally all the
The
time.
little girl. That would burn. What did you expect? The table looks like an expensive piece.
Well, I don't know
There's
if there's
no-
anything else in here I need to get. Meanwhile,
Sister Agatha, my dear, tell me you have good news.
The king
king has arrived in Kalima, father.
That is not what I meant.
Yes. Well, he appears to be quite resourceful. It seems his reputation was not totally exaggerated.
He's still alive?
Oh, more alive than ever.
But that will change soon, I think. The king has discovered that one of the gems he seeks is in the possession of a colleague of ours. Do you remember? Caldaur.
Caldaur.
Yes. Is he still trustworthy?
Dr. Acula, you say?
Still sharp, and there's no question of his
Alucard?
loyalty. My humblest apologies, father, but would it not have been simpler for you to have dealt with Graham personally?
Fool! Imagine the ensuing chaos where Daventry's king murdered in his own land. How then would I be able to search for the item?
I see.
Failure is not an option.
Understood, father.
Keep me informed, preferably of good King Graham's death.
A few years ago, I dressed as Dr. Acula, phlebotomist, for Halloween. Good costume if you're lazy. Just some scrubs and a vampire cape over it. Little name tag. My favorite Halloween costume in recent years was dressing up as my avatar. I was able to track down a Hawaiian shirt that looked a lot like the Hawaiian shirt that my profile pic everywhere uses, and combine that with a Darth Vader helmet, and just went as Decaf Jedi that Halloween, much to everyone's confusion. Kind of hard to see what's a path here at night. So I guess I want to go to the swamp now, and I'm going to use those directions to do the monkey and find my way to the Dracula Castle. I'm sorry, Caldaur. Where is the Ding Dang Swamp? Maybe I find Hagatha's place and that'll help me find the Swamp. You did the Hawaiian shirt and Vader helmet in 99, so it was Ted Vader, Darth's cousin. Pretty good. You know, I think I have my Dracula cape upstairs. It's really a shame I didn't think to wear it tonight. It's a pretty nice one. Like when I buy a Dracula cape, I don't skimp. Like I want to get like a high quality re-wearable Dracula cape. That's true. For my Decaf Jedi costume, I also did have sunglasses that I taped basically to my Vader helmet. Okay, I'm in the swamp. Maybe. So I wonder if this is where our directions begin. Can I go in the water? No. Okay, let's see. So the directions are
You read Shine Why Early, Newborn Son.
southwest, east. Southeast, west.
You read Shine Why Early, Newborn Son.
Southwest,
when sadly
east.
we'd nearly won.
Southwest, east. We're going to go south. West. east. Okay. Then we're going to go.
You read, shine why early, newborn sun, when sadly we'd nearly won.
North, south, west, south. North. South. West. South. Okay. How are we doing?
You read, shine why early, newborn sun, when sadly we'd nearly won.
West, northwest. West. North. West. Let's see if this did it. Did this do the trick? We did the monkey. We did it successfully. Now we can dig up the lost treasure of Kalima Island. All we're going to get is this lousy t-shirt. Okay. Castle. Hey, it's the castle. Yeah, let's see if we can drink a little water here before we move on.
You feel the poisonous water seeping into your skin. Its potency takes effect immediately, and you perish within seconds.
Thank you, Robin. Okay.
The shrouded ghoul looks very frightening. His hands are little more than claws, and his face is nearly completely hidden inside the hood of the shroud. He is standing in a small boat.
Say how you will, but he has a very ghoulish figure.
No way.
Boatman, I need passage.
Boatman.
I said.
I heard.
The ghoul's voice chills you to the bone. It speaks with a deep, resonating bitterness. You cannot make out a great deal of its face, but what you can see has the hairs on the back of your neck standing on end.
In life, I would row this boat for the master.
Merrily, merrily.
Long ago was my untimely death in these waters, but still, I remember many things.
Don't brag about
Laughter.
it. Mm-hmm.
Tears.
Yeah, those are the worst.
Joy. Pain.
Anything else? Pleasure? Anything like that? Okay, we're going to declare the pennies on our eyes. Hey, Obi, Steph, King's Quest 2 on your Apple IIc was the first adventure game you ever played. You know, it was my first adventure game too on the Tandy 1000, and it made a lifelong fan out of me. I don't know if it's the strongest King's Quest game, the original King's Quest 2, but certainly it was enough to capture my imagination completely as a kid, forever apparently. Yeah, there are all kinds of River Styx boatmen that show up all over adventure games, right? This is too good to pass up. I wonder if they recolored the cloak from King's Quest V. That's a good question. I mean, is this Graham's King's Quest V sprite, or did they recreate it? I feel like this is different than his King's Quest V, but maybe I'm misremembering. Sorry, Daldas Playground. Yeah, shots fired. Here, do you like coins still? Is that your thing?
The boatman accepts your payment and motions for you to climb into the boat.
Rock the boat, don't rock the boat, Grammy. Rock the boat, don't tip the boat over.
The shrouded ghoul paddles across the toxic lake to the shore on the other side.
Man, lightning. I don't like that. Brambles. We got the brambles. Sharon Lois and brambles. Okay. I guess we want to eat the sugar cube. I'm assuming that doesn't change here.
After swallowing the magic sugar cube, you get a feeling of invincibility.
All right, let's fight the boatman.
It would be safer. The sharp thorns brush against your skin. However, instead of feeling intense pain, you only experience a slight tingling sensation. Evidently, the magic sugar cube did its job.
Yeah, Pickled Dog, that's a good point. The lightning going behind the save dialogue. This game is fancy. This is a super impressive game, considering it's a relatively early AGS game. I mean, 2002. When did AGS come out? The fact they were able to put together such an impressive game so early and relatively early in this engine's run is really nothing short of remarkable.
The ghosts waver, as if being threatened by even the slightest breeze, yet something holds them in place. It may be nothing more than an intensely strong determination or sense of purpose that keeps the spirits anchored to this world.
Unfinished business, you say? Show them the ring. Is that how this works here? Hey, ghosts.
The ghosts are...
Or maybe just because I'm wearing the ring and the cloak, I'm
As you
good.
approach the ghosts wearing the black cloak, they seem to notice you, and then begin to drift away towards the cemetery.
See you later. You busted.
As you reach to push the massive doors open, you realize there are no handles. The only thing visible is a small keyhole, which slightly resembles a cross. You remove the cross. Having an idea, you push the crucifix into the cross-shaped keyhole.
It
fits. You hear a click, and the door unlocks.
That was a tough puzzle, but I got it somehow.
You push the heavy wooden door open, take a deep breath, and step nervously inside the castle entrance.
Philip's head lock.
The moment you enter the great hall of the castle, you begin shivering uncontrollably, and not just from the cold. This place has an air of death wherever you go.
Death
you
air,
feel
you say?
desperate to get what you came for, and anxious to leave as quickly as possible.
This game does a great
The
job of
portraits
setting
on the
mood
wall
with
depict
its,
the couple who
dialogue.
once lived here. They look young and proud. Behind the mask of apathy that comes with aristocracy, there's a certain kindness in their eyes.
Oh, so rich but decent is what you're telling me. Saying that, let's not go to Camelot. It's a silly place. Ooh, free shovel.
You take the shovel into your possession.
I can't fall off the stairs. What's even the point?
The window looks out onto the island far below. Through it, you see that the bricks of the castle might provide some footholds if you are inclined to go climbing. It is as chilly. You are not desperate enough to climb.
Okay, so I'm guessing later, maybe that will be relevant. There's nowhere else I can go up here, is there? But that's it. Okay, so if we need to make an escape from the castle, there's room to climb over there. That's good to know. Yeah, I mentioned recently that I am on a bit of a Overwatch kick, and astute viewers may have noticed I am wearing an Overwatch t-shirt tonight. I am wearing a Lucio t-shirt, so it's grown completely out of control. This is Overwatch has taken over my life again, and I don't know if I will ever get it back. So I'm trying to be okay with that, but it's simply the way it is. Ooh, it's about a candle.
You hold your candle up to the candelabra flame. It catches. Your candle is now lit.
I tried Marvel Rivals, but it's just a little too chaotic for me. I know that, if you don't play a lot of Overwatch, it must look like the most chaotic thing on Earth also. Just lots of powers going off left and right, and just an insane game in a lot of ways. But Marvel Rivals felt a little looser and sloppier to me than Overwatch, which kind of turned me off. Too chaotic is a polite way to say too horny. I mean, I will say, long before it was cool to be an Emma Frost fan, I was a big fan of the White Queen of the Hellfire Club, and her addition to Marvel Rivals is something that briefly made me think, like, maybe I should try Marvel Rivals again. I've eaten Lucio Pop-Tarts, what you say is true. I have a box of Lucio O's, the Lucio branded cereal that was available in stores briefly. I have that seat in my office at school, so.
This bookcase appears to recount the entire family history of the past counts of Kalima. The line apparently dates back many, many centuries.
Oh gosh, 6, 7. I'm talking like the first appearance comic books kind of stuff. Like I was Emma Frost like way back in like the early 80s kind of stuff. But I do love Wolverine and the X-Men. I may actually like it a little better than X-Men Evolution, but both are quite good. I'm a huge X-Men nerd.
Only one of the books on this shelf really sparks your interest. It's entitled Power, Politics, and Pulpits. Browsing through it, you notice an interesting paragraph.
Whoa. That's several interesting paragraphs, you know. Lord of Kalima, need for change, Church of the Faith, simple people worthy of land, they knew their rightful place. Years later, Count Caldaur, they're at the Church of the Faith, have purposely been holding the people back, retaining their ignorance of literature and the wider world for their own selfish benefit. Church resented this insinuation, declared Caldaur a heathen. The mood within the population expressed condolences to the family of the fallen lord. The churches of the faith asserted the only through the vision of the Kalima, but not the rulers. People find their true path. It's curious to note that no new leader has been chosen to replace Caldaur. Many years since his passing. This game loves its walls of text.
Science has always been a controversial subject in your mind. You'd rather hang on to the perception of the world that you were brought up with. Science has. If the candelabras get knocked over, the carpet will rapidly go up in flames.
I like that.
Think of all the collected works that would be lost if the library was destroyed.
We get like our Last Crusade moment.
You have no interest in any of these books right now.
Is this the best game ever? Packet game, I am immensely impressed by this game. Like, I knew people loved this remake, but I'd literally never even seen a moment of it played, much less played it myself. And I was prepared for it to be good. I have really been blown away at what an impressive piece of work this is for a fan game. At times, you know, I love the wordiness of it, but I think sometimes it gets a little too caught up in that. But that's a minor criticism for what is a just amazing piece of fan work.
Even though you would like to read up on how Daventry's own first king arrived with the others of his kind, you have more important things to do right now.
Oh, wow, 6, 7. You have the Marvel trading cards. Yeah, I have the first couple of sets of those too in a binder upstairs. Yeah, I loved those Marvel trading cards. Oh my gosh, I loved them. I had like a holofoil Wolverine that came in one of the early series of those that I was lucky enough to actually pull from a pack.
Even though you would like to read the bust being made of losing your marbles. This marble bust must be of a past count, while it has some resemblance to the current one.
Maybe we don't need to do anything else in here for the moment.
There is no wood.
Would that there were wood. I get the feeling there's going to be a secret passage maybe that goes downstairs. I don't know. Well, this has some Mordak Castle vibes.
This is just a small storage room. Rows of red wine barrels are neatly stacked and piled along the wall. At least you think they contain wine. Seeing nothing else of real importance, you head back into the dining room.
I never drink wine. Oh man, 6, 7. Now you're really talking my language. The Marvel Superheroes RPG from TSR, the face rip system, is maybe my favorite RPG of all time. And I don't say that lightly. I loved that TSR early RPG. It was so good. I can't remember if I've talked about this, but just sitting here at arm's length, I recently scored, because who doesn't like buying RPGs you'll never play? I recently scored the source book for the current iteration of the Marvel RPG series. I guess this is the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game is the title of it. I found it discounted at Ollie's discounts for a whopping $12.99, which is exactly the price I want to pay for a thick source book and the Cataclysm of Kang module for multiversal adventures. If you want to play as a multiversal hero, this is your book. But I'm so hyped for those. These are another RPG that I will own and never play. I don't think anyone will ever play this game with me. I played a fair bit of the actual Marvel game. I roped a bunch of my friends when I was a kid into the TSR game back in the day. I was able to convince them, even though none of them wanted to play, and none of them were comic book fans like me. I wrote so many adventures myself, adventure modules for that TSR game. I would bet you I had a little DOS word processor called Friendly Writer, and I bet, no joke, I probably banged out 300 pages worth of Marvel adventures. That's saved to a 3.5-inch floppy, some of which I managed to run, most of which I didn't. But if anyone ever needed to run like a 17-year Marvel
the staircase
superheroes
beyond is very dark
campaign, I had all the material we needed. Deskmate was a pain. I had Deskmate, but those friends also attended my magic show. A full 100%. This is a great question, Kevin. Yes. I was very passionate about the things that I loved as a kid. And as an only child, a lot of times I had to depend on the kindness of my friends to just humor me. So they were very kind to put up with playing my RPGs they didn't really want to play. Uh-oh.
The lid of the beautifully carved coffin is closed. A raised stone dais has been built for the sole purpose of keeping the coffin off the ground. Presumably, this makes it easier for the coffin's occupant to climb in and out. The thought gives you the shivers.
Do we think Graham knows about vampires? Because he should be saying this is an extremely Draculated situation right now. And I'm not sure if he knows how Draculated it really is. I'm worried that Graham is just like, wouldn't it be curious if someone slept in a coffin? He's just not ready. He's not spiritually ready. He's not emotionally ready.
The thick black cloak that you are wearing hampers your efforts to lift the coffin lid. Try removing the cloak first.
Does this mean we're gonna have a cut scene where they forgot to animate Graham with the cloak?
The black cloak. You remove the black cloak again. Nervously, you lift the heavy lid of the elegant coffin.
Oh, sweet.
You peek into its red satin interior. The coffin is unoccupied, and you feel relief wash over you.
The real reason you went into game design was by wanting to make an RPG so good I could actually get people to play with me. Oh no, that feels too real. Too many cloaks. AGS can only handle so many cloaks at a time. It has limited cloaker capabilities.
As you prepare to look inside the coffin...
I'm about to look.
King Graham, I presume.
You turn on your heel. There, blocking the only exit from this dismal room, stands the Count. His skin is pale, his eyes jet black. He wears a black cloak nearly identical to the one that you possess.
Nice cloak, bro.
You know me?
Ah, yes indeed. Sister Hagatha alerted me to your arrival, dear king.
Yeah?
There's no... Desperate to stall for time, you query the Count.
Let's query the
Sister
Count.
Hagatha, you say? Who is she?
The Count regards you with a suspicious glare.
Though I suspect you already know the answer, Hagatha is a charming mage who does as she pleases in this land.
Strange. I was not aware a new ruler had been elected.
Do not be foolish.
Wow.
Agatha has no interest in the politics of this wretched place. Nor do I, in point of fact. Death tends to diminish one's taste for power.
You're dead?
No. At present, she is interested only in one thing. As am I, your destruction.
My destruction? What'd I do? Hey, have you ever seen this cool crucifix?
You hold up the cross in hopes that it will provide you some protection. The Count gestures and, to your horror, the cross key disappears. It reappears in his hand a second later. He seems unaffected by it. A nauseous feeling fills you
he's
as
Catholic.
he presses his lips against it in a mock kiss.
It's a Catholic vampire.
God bless Colima.
Oh no, Andy's patriotic.
In an instant, you are flat against the wall. The Count has you pinned so well you can't move a muscle, much less put up a defense.
Well.
You can feel the Count's iron-cold hand on your throat. You have barely seconds before the inevitable happens. Good
you want your
idea,
cloak back?
but it is too large to handle easily at the moment.
So do we think the entire reason we had to take off the cloak is because they had already drawn this cutscene and forgotten to put Graham in the cloak?
With difficulty, you manage to loosen the ruby ring from your finger and
Wow, they
drop
have
it to
sound
the
effects
floor.
for that.
The Count's eyes dart to it quickly, then flash angrily back to you.
Where did you get that?
The elderly woman who lives in a house to the south of here, near the beach. She gave it to me for helping her.
Yeah.
The Count regards you for a moment. His dark eyes bore unendingly into yours, and you feel as if your very soul is bare.
What do you know of her?
Yeah, not much.
She is not well.
I know. Do you think I am not aware of that?
You are sweating profusely. Hopefully, this vampire doesn't find the odor appetizing.
Gross.
Night is the most dangerous of times for my mortal family.
Chavo Guerrero Jr. has you in the chest.
Constant vigil over my wife for many years, so that from the darkness, no harm would come to her. When her time comes, we will be together forever.
Nice.
I think tonight will be the night. I have seen her this very eve. I did what I could to help her, but I do not think it was enough.
Wow. Cheat to win. Cheat to win. Blah. Anon.
As you watch the giant bat fly out of the room, you remember that the Count confiscated your crucifix. Without it, you are trapped in this castle. Now, what are you going to
crucifix. Confiscated your crucifix is an amazing phrase. It just rolls off the
into
tongue.
the ornate coffin. Finding it unoccupied, you see that the interior is lined with shiny red satin. At long last, you have located the final gem, the Death Gem.
Valenice, here I come.
You breathe deeply, reach out, and take the stone in your hands. It is ice cold to the touch, but you don't care. This is the last thing you need to unlock the door of destiny. Now all you have to do is get out of here.
Atomic Matter, I saw confiscated crucifix open for Cold Sore in 1983. That sounds like it'd be a great name for a Christian hair metal
Fire
band.
is hot. Fire is hot. Don't touch it.
Fire bad. We are confiscated crucifix. Death Gem's pretty good too. Okay, well, we got the Death Gem. It's me, Death Gem. Well, can we just climb out of that window maybe? Is that the move? Is that the maneuver? Are we sure the door is locked from the inside or outside somehow? I feel like we're assuming we can't escape, but I don't know if we know that. I mean, I think the game's going to make that very clear here in just a moment, but...
The huge wooden doors are locked, and you can't open them without the cross key. It appears that you are trapped.
Oh, Death Jim's an old WCW wrestler. Yeah, I used to watch him all the time on the Mothership. I'll never forget the time he wrestled Dusty Rhodes, 6:05 p.m. Eastern, Saturday night.
Seeing no other possible escape route, you climb onto the ledge and carefully lower yourself outside, hoping to find a decent foothold. It is a long way down.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't like the look of this one bit. Probably should just start deleting some saves here. Minigame alert. Yeah, it does have those vibes, huh? What we got here, is this a fall off the wall by going to the wrong place, or is this going to be rocks falling on me? Or is it Root Monster Maze? Is that what we're dealing with?
Suddenly, you hear a switching noise. You instinctively try to brush whatever it is away. Time slows as you fall.
Oh
and
no.
Your world turns black.
What? I mean, that was a pretty good song. I like it. Big whale mouth energy. It really is. Oh no. Oh no, I've been invited to a fancy dinner.
Our guest has awoken, my love.
With a lady vampire.
Good evening, dear king. I do not believe we have been properly introduced. I am Count Caldaur, former lord of the realm of Colima. May I present my wife, Countess Lavidia.
Lavidia Loca.
To see you again.
In gratitude to you for alerting me to my wife's grave condition, I took the liberty of preparing you a dish.
Grandma?
I thought you might be hungry after your harrowing adventure at my window. You will forgive us if we do not join you. Our tastes differ from yours, do they not, my darling?
You shudder to think what different tastes actually means, but for some reason you note that you can no longer hear any rats squeaking in the distance.
Oh no.
Indeed.
Is this Grandma?
So much to become
Vampire
accustomed to.
You shall have all the time that the world has to share to grow accustomed to such things. Well, perhaps 30 years. Should the father locate the item by then, there might not be enough world left for anyone afterwards.
Has this father to do with why you frequently went abroad, always with that cloak of yours?
Most certainly. But I think that my affiliation with him and his association has come to a close.
Grandma's never looked
My
better.
obligations to them took me away from my beloved too often. I do not wish to repeat that mistake.
You are forgiven, my love.
Their attention, which seemed to have wavered momentarily, now redirects back to you.
Well, well, well.
Yeah.
What to do with this one?
You can set me free.
What were you going to do with him?
Kill him.
No.
I had quite clear instructions from Hagatha. who had apparently received them from the Father himself.
You take orders from Hagatha
What
now?
if you are not, as you say, affiliated with his association anymore?
They both share a knowing smile.
Tell us, King Graham, why are you here in Colima?
You
Become
take
a hero.
deep breath, trying to ignore the fact that you
I
are the
wanna be a
only one
pirate.
capable of doing so, and relate your story of the vision in the magic mirror and your quest to find the 3 gems of nature. The Count and Countess exchange cryptic smiles.
Romancing the stones.
She said the title.
Indeed.
Obviously, that was a private joke, as you did not understand it.
So you search for the one with which you would share the rest of your life. On that I cannot fault you, nor on your intentions here. Therefore, I can forgive the trespassing. However, there is the matter of the dark gem you wish to remove from my
I
castle.
do wish to remove it. We should make a plea for love. These guys love love.
I place a deal before you. I am looking for a magnificent sapphire-encrusted tiara. It is a valuable family heirloom and has been on this estate for centuries.
Oh no,
This
treasure
castle and its estate are old, though. It could be virtually anywhere, in any number of hiding places. I suspect there are many that even I am not aware of. I wish to present this tiara to my wife as a gift to commemorate the eternity we shall spend together. If you can find it and bring it to me before sunrise, then I will give you the gem you seek and your freedom.
Seems like a fair deal.
You nod, unable to believe that you have virtually been ushered away from death's door just so you can run an errand for a couple of vampires. You do not want to think about the consequences if you fail to meet the deadline.
Wonder if there's actually a timer here.
So, I have until just before sunrise to retrieve this tiara?
That is correct.
He's on the old Leisure Suit Larry
unable
clock.
to before that time?
The Count's eyes glint red as he looks directly into your own.
Hey,
For
Highbury.
your own sake, I shall hope that you are successful.
You bravely suppress a shudder. It
Successful.
seems clear that you are not off the hook yet. The Count has...
Pardon my asking, but as the Countess of this realm, I presume you have lived in this castle before now?
Yes, that is so.
Then how did you come to live in that old house by the sea?
Thank you, Clill, for a little bit of sexy gram.
After my husband died, I continued to live in the castle for a time. I watched my newborn son grow into a man, marry, and have a child of his own.
Possum?
Possum.
Possum.
Yes. Shortly
impossible.
after her birth, however, my son and his wife both befell a tragic end at the hands of...
The Countess
Cholera?
looks pained and appears unable to continue.
I apologize if I have caused you to relive your grief.
Again.
A vampire cannot truly feel grief, but perhaps my wife still recalls hers. I shall continue for her, if you so wish.
Yes, please speak for your wife. Hey, Highbury, I'm doing well. How are you doing? Hope it's been a good Monday for you. By the way, everybody, the bot just linked to my YouTube channel. Now that all of my old VODs are clearing off of Twitch to comply with the new limits, I think now we're limited to 100 hours of highlights. I stored all my old VODs using the highlight system. I think I had something like 800 hours worth of quality TCAP Jedi entertainment. Wow, that is upsetting when you say it out loud. But it's all slowly moving over to YouTube as part of my year one program. I'm posting all those old videos every Friday, one at a time, over the next few months. So if you're not following me over on YouTube, be sure to do so. You can also become a member over there and support the channel for a mere $2.99. You can get early access to VODs and other great features.
Please, if I may know, how were your son and daughter-in-law lost to you?
They were slain by the Brotherhood.
Of evil mutants?
The Brotherhood?
You have met them at the church.
What?
Your mind reels, so that is the connection.
What?
Why would the Brotherhood kill your heirs? Oh.
As you have just guessed, the Brotherhood wish an end to the reign of my family. Why else would they give you the means to penetrate my domain so that you could do their dirty work for them?
The cross key.
All makes sense now.
Exactly. Stolen from me through stealth and their own brand of magic.
Wolf
the
magic.
The Counts of Colima have all descended from a single bloodline. We have always been partial to change, as opposed to the stagnating status quo of the Brotherhood. Over the last few decades, the Brotherhood have tried to dispose of my family as best they could. That which I am now was brought about by them. They were the ones who set the monstrous, infected bat upon me. Long have I cursed my ineptitude. I should have used magic to defend myself.
Should have.
Do not be so hard on yourself, my dear. I remember that night well. That hideous creature gave you no chance.
Perhaps. But I should have awoken from my dark sleep sooner. Then I would have been able to protect our beloved son and his wife, and you would not have been forced to flee the castle, to live out your days in that wretched old house.
Wasn't that
under
bad a house?
False identity.
She had an expensive
it was
table.
Not so bad a time. Dear little possum loved it. I hope she will be as happy in her new home. She has a new life now.
Wow, they
with
moved
no
Possum in?
reason to fear anymore.
This Brotherhood, are they real monks?
They were once.
They're real
but
jerks.
Something happened to them. Local folklore would have you believe that Weirwood Forest is a host to certain entities, spirits of the wild they are called.
Wild spirits, eh?
I believe the monks encountered these spirits. What occurred specifically is beyond anyone's knowledge but their own. But it is evident that the men were given the ability to transform themselves. Unfortunately, their minds were apparently transformed also.
Wolf brain.
They began to believe they were destined to rule, and since have presented great danger to myself and my family.
So the danger you face is not a result of some decades-old feud?
Not at all, dear king.
Not like the Underworld
Though
movies?
history will likely reflect such. But, to answer your question, the members of the Brotherhood are no longer the goodly monks they once were.
Now they're
They
badly
do not
monks.
represent their fellow brethren well.
So you're saying I can't judge all Christian clergy by the action of these werewolf monks?
The Count has nothing more. The Countess has nothing.
Well, I guess it's treasure hunt time. But before that, here's some unscheduled ASMR. My mouse battery's about to die, so I have these lovely batteries here. Let's see if we can get some good crinkle. There we go. How exciting was that? We never do ASMR around here anymore. We're bringing back all the hits here in year 5. We'll just pop the old lid off. Take the old battery. Look, I'll eat it live on camera. Ow! Battery gone. New battery going in. Which way does it go? I didn't pay attention when I took the last one out. I'm going to guess positive end goes in first. Does that make my mouse work? No. I got the other way then is our answer. Let's try this. Oh, one more time. I like bacon frying. Sweet. Man, I wish I had some bacon right now. That sounds amazing. Get my little lid back on here. All right, now we have a perfectly working mouse again. Just in time for me to say, what a dramatic way to end this. After that big exposition dump, I think I'm going to pause there because I think there's probably more game left from the looks of things that I can finish tonight. My goal is going to be to come back on Wednesday night We are going to find this ding dang tiara. We're going to get our third stone. And then we are going to head to the girl in the tower and save her. But I think we've made some real progress tonight. And I'm glad we finally got to meet Caldaur. What a fun, entertaining guy. But thank y'all for joining me. Thank you. This is a lot of fun. I'm still loving this game. I can't wait to see what's coming next. It has really delighted me at every turn. So I'm having a good time here. We will, like I said, Wednesday night we'll be back again with more of it. And then I have some ideas for some other games I want to stream soon. I have a couple of little surprises on the way, and then maybe a game we'll spend a little bit more time with. But for now, we should get a raid going. I see lots of good options here, but I think I have to raid over to Twiji. I know they always raid Tawi, but there's a reason for that. A, she's a fantastic streamer. It's always a pleasure to see what she's up to. But B, tonight she's playing Monkey Island 2, a beloved game, of course. Everyone loves Monkey Island 2. And hey, we've just been counting down that best LucasArts games of all time list on QuestQuest. Could it be Monkey Island 2 that came out on top? You'll just have to tune in tomorrow when that episode comes out. But for now, I am going to start a raid over to say hey to Tawi. Thank y'all again for joining me. Thanks for the hype train earlier. I hope everybody enjoyed this as much as I did, and I will see you again very soon. Take care.